19 thin rings painted on a gun barrel. Not carved into armor, not stamped into steel, just brushstrokes. Counting kills on a vehicle that, on paper, should not have lived long enough to earn even half of them. Because this isn't a Tiger. It isn't even a proper tank destroyer in the later, enclosed German style. It's a Marder II, basically a Panzer II chassis with a full-size anti-tank gun bolted on top, a tall silhouette, and an open fighting compartment that leaves the crew exposed to the one thing the Eastern Front always has plenty of: fragments. And yet, in 1943, there it is, the Marder II Kohlenklau, the cartoon figure painted on the side like a signature. The nickname itself comes from a wartime propaganda caricature, Kohlenklau, the coal thief, a character used to shame wasting fuel and energy, now turned into a kind of unit mascot on the battlefield. So here's the question that makes this whole story work. How do you become an ace in an open-topped box? How does a crew survive long enough? Thin armor, open roof, no turret, to rack up claims. And what does survive even mean when every day is a gamble against artillery, air attack, and the first enemy tank crew that spots your muzzle flash? Because the Marder exists for one reason: urgency. In 1941, German anti-tank firepower is suddenly behind the curve. The shock of encountering better protected Soviet tanks drives a rush for anything that can kill at range right now. The answer is not elegant. The answer is practical. Take what you already have, strip it down, and mount a gun powerful enough to punch through the front of enemy armor before it can punch back. That's why the Marder II looks like a compromise you can see from a kilometer away. On the SDKF Z131 version, the one most people think of, the main weapon is the 75mm Pak-40, a gun that gives the vehicle real reach. But everything around that gun is a compromise. The fighting compartment is open at the top and rear, the vehicle stands tall on the horizon, and its armor is limited, good enough to shrug off small arms in some angles, but not built to absorb punishment or cover mistakes. That compromise forces a doctrine. A Marder crew doesn't brawl. It doesn't trade shots at close range. It does not go looking for fights in towns or forests where infantry can get close. You don't crest a ridge like a tank and hope your armor holds. You fight like a hunter with a long rifle. Pick your ground, fire first from concealment, and move before the return fire arrives, because protection is thin and time is shorter than you think. So if you want to understand a Marder ace, don't start with the kill rings. Start with the habits that kept the crew alive long enough to paint them. The first habit is distance. A Marder wants long sight lines, open fields, gentle slopes, the edge of a village, not inside it. You're looking for the kind of ground where your Pak-40 can speak first. And first isn't a slogan here, it's physics. If you fire first, you might disable the enemy tank before it can answer. If you fire second, you might never fire again. The second habit is preparation. This isn't just drive to a bush and wait. A good position has an exit route that isn't obvious. It has a second position pre-picked. It has camouflage that breaks up the silhouette and hides the gun shield. It has a line of communication to whoever is spotting, because in a Marder, spotting is life. And that brings us to the third habit, teamwork. A Marder II crew is small, and every second matters. The gun must be laid quickly. Ammunition is limited. The vehicle has restricted traverse compared to a turreted tank, so the driver and commander have to help aim the hull, as much as the gunner aims the sights. Even the rhythm of loading becomes part of survival. Load, fire, observe, correct, before the enemy's return